Alright, let's talk about Rubilia, but the first thing that I want to mention is that this was tested on the test server, which has a lot of input lag, plus we use average player stats, so you may get better results than we did. But I also want to give a special thanks to Kawasa, to where you can find him over at Twitch, over at Muwasa Gaming, to where he does Raid, FC, and Void Abyss 6 carries as long as you're on Solaris, and Kazir, my Claudia Matrizy expert. These two are essential when it comes to testing out these characters. And Ridley, greatest Discord moderator, and Bacardi, who helps keep me on track when it comes to Tower of Fantasy news. Now let's talk about Rubilia's main mechanics, and the biggest thing would be her skill, which has a 20-second cooldown compared to CN's 30-second cooldown. So this will greatly affect your rotation when playing Rubilia. So what you want to do is discharge with Rubilia, which will generate a lot of Crystal Max Thorns. And the more health that these Thorns have will greatly increase the damage of your skill. But after casting your skill, your Thorns will have 0 health. So how you refill the health is by doing dodge attacks. When playing Rubilia, especially combined with an A3 Fenrir, the more skills you're able to get off while her Song World is active, the more damage you will do. Her last mechanic is that when you do a dodge attack and you hold it down, she releases an energy ball, and if it hits a Greyspace enemy, it will be under your control for a short while. Now, this is not recommended in actual combat, but at least it's fun to do. Now let's talk about her playstyle. Rubilia is a burst-focused weapon that provides a lot of synergy with Fenrir, but she also buffs Volt, gives it much-needed AoE, and provides grouping. She is meant to be a weapon that you burst with, then switch off to your other weapons. Next, let's talk about her Ascensions, which mostly provide extra buffs, DPS, and quality of life. Her first Ascension is a basic AoE damage from her Thorns. This can add up, but is small compared to other sources of damage. Rubilia's third Ascension is basic quality of life that makes it easier to get your Thorns out. But her biggest quality of life comes from her fifth Ascension, allowing you to fully heal your Crystal Max Thorns with 2 dodge attacks. Her sixth Ascension is a simple Volt damage buff from discharging, which is good to have if you're trying to max out your DPS. Now let's go ahead and talk about her trait. What it does is it increases Volt damage by 8% for every Volt weapon equipped. So this is only good if you're doing a mono Volt team. Otherwise, you would be better off using something like Fenrir's trait or even Samir's. But if you're playing with Fiona in the team, you definitely want to make sure that you have Fiona's trait active. Alright, now let's get to the fun part, the DPS calculations. So the O comp consisted of Fiona, Fenrir, and Tian. With Fiona using a 3-star 4-piece Fiona, Fenrir using a 3-star 4-piece Fenrir, and Tian using a 3-star 4-piece Tian. And in 1 minute and 30 seconds, they were able to reach 214 million. But if you enjoy these character showcases, consider subscribing. I do weekly guides, showcases, and more about Tower of Fantasy. So let's start with the meta comp, and these are the average stats that we're using. Over 9,000 crit and close to 24,000 boat attack. And for this team, it consisted of Fiona, Fenrir, and Rubilia. And for the matrices, we have quite a few combinations. So version 1 consisted of using Fenrir matrices, with Fiona using a 3-star 4-piece Fiona, Fenrir using a 3-star 4-piece Fenrir, and for DPS matrices, using a 3-star 2-piece Lyra, 3-star 2-piece Samir, and Rubilia used no matrices, her 0-star 4-piece, her 3-star 4-piece, and a 3-star 4-piece Fenrir. Version 2 consisted of using Tian matrices, with Fiona using a 3-star 4-piece Fiona, Fenrir using a 3-star 4-piece Tian, and DPS matrices consisting of 3-star 2-piece Lyra, 3-star 2-piece Samir, with Rubilia using no matrices, her 0-star 4-piece, and 3-star 4-piece matrices, and a 3-star 4-piece Tian. Version 3 consisted of using no Rubilia matrices, with Fiona using a 3-star 4-piece Fiona, Fenrir using a 3-star 4-piece Fenrir, and Rubilia using a 3-star 4-piece Tian. Version 4 consisted of free-to-play matrices, with Fiona using a 3-star 4-piece Shiro, Fenrir using a 3-star 2-piece Shiro, 3-star 2-piece Samir, and Rubilia using a 0-star and 3-star 4-piece Silka matrices. And this team used the Fiona trait. For the scatter techniques, for the primary skill they used Torrential Force, and for the secondary skill they used Hydro Focus. So here are the results of the meta comp in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So 0-star version 1 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 59 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 78 million, and with DPS matrices 73 million. 0-star version 2 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 62 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 82 million, and with DPS matrices 81 million. 0-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 84 million, and 0-star version 4 Rubilia with her 0-star 4-piece Silka matrices was able to reach 51 million. 1-star version 1 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 70 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 90 million, and with DPS matrices 83 million. 1-star version 2 Rubilia Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 72 million, and with her 0-star 4-piece, 92 million, and with DPS matrices, 90 million. 1-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 96 million, and 1-star version 4 Rubilia with a 0-star 4-piece Silca matrices was able to reach 60 million. 3-star version 1 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 76 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 100 million, and with DPS matrices 90 million. 3-star version 2 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 76 million, and with her 0-star 4-piece 105 million, and with DPS matrices 96 million. 3-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 106 million, and 3-star version 4 Rubilia with her 0-star 4-piece Silca matrices was able to reach 66 million. 5-star version 1 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 78 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 112 million, and with DPS matrices 102 million. 5-star version 2 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 82 million, and with her 0-star 4-piece 114 million, and with DPS matrices 104 million. 5-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 116 million, and 5-star version 4 Rubilia, using her 0-star 4-piece Silca matrices, was able to reach 76 million. 6-star version 1 Rubilia, using no matrices, was able to reach 90 million, using her 0-star 4-piece 130 million, and using her 3-star 4-piece 150 million, and using DPS matrices 118 million. 6-star version 2 Rubilia, using no matrices, was able to reach 94 million, and using her 0-star 4-piece 130 million, and using her 3-star 4-piece 146 million, and using DPS matrices 120 million. 6-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 134 million, and 6-star version 4 Rubilia, using her 0-star 4-piece Silca matrices, was able to reach 88 million, and using her 3-star 4-piece Silca matrices 102 million. And here's what this comp was able to do using live stat values. 6-star version 1 Rubilia was able to reach 150 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 218 million, with her 3-star 4-piece 260 million, and with DPS matrices 192 million. 6-star version 2 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 166 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 210 million, and with her 3-star 4-piece 250 million, and with DPS matrices 200 million. 6-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 222 million, and 6-star version 4 Rubilia, using her 0-star 4-piece Silca matrices, was able to reach 136 million, and with a 3-star 4-piece Silca matrices 146 million. Next, let's talk about the rotation, which is pretty complex due to there being tight timings, so expect this rotation to be difficult to execute to its maximum potential on both the cactus and in real combat. But generally it's best to think of this as a 60-second rotation. An ideal rotation involves pre-charging about 1.8 discharge bars so you can immediately start with Fiona's discharge for buffs. So you want to use Fiona's discharge, and then you want to activate Fiona's skills. Next you want to use Fenrir's skill and her claw twice, but cancel the second claw early, going straight into Rubilia's discharge into her skill. Dodge attack twice so that way you can heal the spikes, then Fiona discharge into her skill. Use Fenrir's claw twice, swap to Rubilia, discharge into her skill, following up with 2 dodge attacks to heal up the spike. But do note that it's important to use your skill twice within the first song world. Then we go back into Fiona's discharge into her skill, Fenrir clone into 2 claws. Then Rubilia discharge into her skill into dodge attacking 2 times. But note, you will only get 1 Rubilia skill into this song world. Following up with the Fiona's discharge into her skill, then you want to activate Fenrir's 2 claw skills and stay on Fenrir until her clone is up and use it again. Then Rubilia discharge into her skill, dodge attack twice, rinse and repeat by activating Fiona's discharge, her skills, and so on. Now let's talk about a rotation that's more suited for real life combat, which I strongly recommend because this was even tested on the live server. Like the previous rotation, you want to have 1.8 to 2 pre-discharge bars, and the recommended relics for this team is Kuan 2 and Overdrive Shot. So you want to start out by using Hydro Focus to Fenrir's clone and activate Kuan 2. Both Hydro Focus and Kuan 2 should be used off cooldown from this point out. Then you're going right into Fiona's discharge into her skill, to where you will activate Rubilia's discharge to Overdrive Shot to Rubilia's skill and dodge attack 2 times to heal up the spikes. Use Fenrir's claw twice, dodge plunge attack 3 times, finishing off with a dodge attack. The main point that you're trying to do is get Rubilia's skill off a cooldown. Then you swap to Rubilia, discharge into her skill, then you dodge attack 2 times to heal up the spikes. Right into Fiona's discharge into her skill, to where you activate Fenrir's clone, do 2 claw attacks, then do a dodge plunge attack 2 times, right into Rubilia's discharge into her skill, to where you dodge attack 2 times. Then you Fiona Discharge into her skill, use Fenrir's Claw twice, dodge plunge attack twice, rinse and repeat with Fenrir's Clone, Fiona skills, and so on. But one thing to note, some bosses have a 3-second invulnerability phase, like Rudolph. So you're going to want to activate Fiona's Discharge into her skill first, right into Fenrir's Clone, and then from here the rotation is the same as above, following step 3 and so on. The reason why we do this is so that way we don't have to wait for this invulnerability phase to end. But I'll leave a link in the description to the full 2-minute part so that way you can see it in real time. For our next team, we tested out Lin in place of Fiona, which consisted of Lin, Fenrir, and Rubilia. And these are the average stats that we're working with. A little over 10,000 crit and over 24,000 volt attack. And for the matrices, we have quite a few combinations. Version 1 consisted of Fenrir matrices, with Lin using a 3-star 4-piece Fenrir, Fenrir using a 3-star 4-piece Lin, and DPS matrices using a 3-star 2-piece Lyra, 3-star 2-piece Amir. And Rubilia used no matrices, her 0-star 4-piece, her 3-star 4-piece matrices, and a 3-star 4-piece Lin. Version 2 consisted of Tion matrices, with Lin using a 3-star 4-piece Tion, Fenrir using a 3-star 4-piece Lin, and DPS matrices consisting of 3-star 2-piece Lyra, 3-star 2-piece Amir. And Rubilia used no matrices, her 0-star 4-piece and her 3-star 4-piece matrices, and a 3-star 4-piece Lin. Version 3 used no Rubilia matrices, with Lin using a 3-star 4-piece Fenrir, Fenrir using a 3-star 4-piece Lin, and Rubilia using a 3-star 4-piece Tion. Version 4 consisted of free-to-play matrices, with Lin using a 3-star 4-piece Shiro, Fenrir using a 3-star 2-piece Shiro, 3-star 2-piece Amir, and Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece and 3-star 4-piece Silka matrices. And they used the Fenrir trait. So here are the results of the Lin comp in a minute and 30 seconds. 0-star version 1 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 50 million, with their 0-star 4-piece 66 million, and with DPS matrices 63 million. 0-star version 2 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 55 million, and with their 0-star 4-piece 72 million, and with DPS matrices 70 million. 0-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 80 million, and 0-star version 4 Rubilia using 0-star 4-piece Silka matrices was able to reach 46 million. 1-star version 1 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 56 million, with their 0-star 4-piece 76 million, and with DPS matrices 73 million. 1-star version 2 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 59 million, and with their 0-star 4-piece 80 million, and with DPS matrices 78 million. 1-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 90 million, and 1-star version 4 Rubilia using her 0-star 4-piece Silka matrices was able to reach 52 million. 3-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 62 million, and with her 0-star 4-piece 86 million, and with DPS matrices 81 million. 3-star version 2 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 63 million, and using her 0-star 4-piece 92 million, and using DPS matrices 84 million. 3-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 100 million, and 3-star version 4 Rubilia using her 0-star 4-piece Silka matrices was able to reach 58 million. 5-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 68 million, using her 0-star 4-piece 100 million, and using DPS matrices 86 million. 5-star version 2 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 68 million, and using her 0-star 4-piece 96 million, and using DPS matrices 90 million. 5-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 104 million, and 5-star version 4 Rubilia using her 0-star 4-piece Silka matrices was able to reach 66 million. 6-star version 1 Rubilia was able to reach 78 million, using her 0-star 4-piece 115 million, and using her 3-star 4-piece 132 million, and using DPS matrices 100 million. 6-star version 2 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 78 million, using her 0-star 4-piece 110 million, and using her 3-star 4-piece 126 million, and using DPS matrices 100 million. 6-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 120 million, and 6-star version 4 Rubilia using her 0-star 4-piece Silka matrices was able to reach 76 million, and using her 3-star 4-piece matrices 88 million. Now here's what this comp was able to do using live stat values. 6-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 130 million, using her 0-star 4-piece 192 million, and using her 3-star 4-piece 228 million, and using DPS matrices 162 million. 6-star version 2 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 128 million, and using her 0-star 4-piece 176 million, and using her 3-star 4-piece 216 million, and using DPS matrices 160 million. 6-star version 3 Rubilia was able to reach 198 million, and 6-star version 4 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka Matrice was able to reach 116 million, and using a 3-star 4-piece Matrice, 126 million. Now let's discuss the rotation. Like Meta Vote, you're still trying to cast 3 Rubilia skills within 2 Fenrir Song Worlds. So you want to start out by doing a Lin Hold attack to her skill. Then you want to use Fenrir's Clone skill and Claw twice. Dodge and plunge attack for charge. Then you cast Rubilia's Discharge into her skill to where you dodge attack 2 times to heal her spikes. Next you Lin skill, Fenrir dodge plunge attack, use Fenrir's Claw twice, dodge plunge attack again, swap to Rubilia to discharge and use her skill, and dodge attack twice. Next you Lin skill, use Fenrir's Clone skill and Claw 2 times, dodge plunge attack for charge, into Rubilia's Discharge into her skill, with 2 dodge attacks. Next you want a Lin skill, then Fenrir dodge plunge attack, use Fenrir's Claw twice, then dodge plunge attack once again. Right into Rubilia's Discharge, into her skill, into a dodge attack 2 times. To where you're going to rinse and repeat this process with Lin skills and so on. Which brings us to our next comp, Mono Vote. And these are the average stats that we're working with. A little over 10k crit and close to 24,000 vote attack. And this team consisted of Tion, Fenrir, and Rubilia. And for the matrices, we have quite a few combinations. Version 1 consisted of vote matrices, with Tion using a 3-star 4-piece Tion, Fenrir using a 3-star 4-piece Fenrir, and DPS matrices consisting of 3-star 2-piece Lyra, 3-star 2-piece Samir. And Rubilia used no matrices, her 0-star 4-piece matrices, her 3-star 4-piece matrices, and a 3-star 4-piece Fenrir. Version 2 consisted of free-to-play matrices, with Tion using a 3-star 4-piece Shiro, Fenrir using a 3-star 2-piece Shiro, 3-star 2-piece Samir, and Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka and a 3-star 4-piece Silka matrice. And they used the Rubilia trait. So here are the results of the Mono Vote team in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So 0-star version 1 Rubilia with no matrices was able to reach 72 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 92 million, and with DPS matrices 96 million. 0-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 60 million. 1-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 80 million, and using a 0-star 4-piece 100 million, and using DPS matrices 105 million. And 1-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 72 million. 3-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 82 million, using her 0-star 4-piece 107 million, and using DPS matrices 115 million. 3-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 74 million. 5-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 86 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 118 million, and with DPS matrices 122 million. And 5-star version 2 Rubilia using 0-star 4-piece Silka matrices was able to reach 80 million. 6-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 100 million, using her 0-star 4-piece 136 million, and using her 3-star 4-piece 156 million, and using DPS matrices 140 million. 6-star version 2 Rubilia using her 0-star 4-piece Silka matrices was able to reach 92 million, and using a 3-star 4-piece Silka matrice 106 million. And here's what this comp was able to do using live stat values. 6-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 166 million, using her 0-star 4-piece 224 million, and with her 3-star 4-piece 250 million, and using DPS matrices 224 million. 6-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 142 million, and using a 3-star 4-piece Silka matrice 152 million. Now let's talk about the rotation, but do note that if you pre-charge, you might be able to squeeze in an extra Rubilia skill during Fenrir Song Worlds. But you want to start off by using Tion skill to Fenrir's Clone skill and Claw attack twice, and then you just want to dodge plunge attack for charge. Right into Rubilia's Discharge into her skill, dodge attack 2 times to heal the spikes. Then back to Fenrir to where you're going to dodge plunge attack, use her Fenrir Claw twice, and then you're going to dodge plunge attack until you get Fenrir's Clone skill back up. Once it's up, you activate it, Claw twice, Fenrir dodge plunge attack, swap back to Rubilia, discharge into her skill, dodge attack twice to heal up the spikes, to Tion skill to a Fenrir dodge plunge attack, then use Fenrir's Claw twice, then dodge plunge attack once again, to Rubilia's discharge into her skill and dodge attack 2 times. Then you just rinse and repeat this rotation with Tion skill and so on. Which brings us to the altered comp, and these are the average player stats that we're using, almost 10k crit and close to 25,000 vote attack. But this team consisted of Lin, Fiona, and and Rubilia. And for the matrices, we have quite a few combinations. Version 1 consisted of altered matrices, with Lin using a 3-star 4-piece Lin, Fiona using a 3-star 4-piece Fiona, Rubilia using no matrices, her 0-star and 3-star 4-piece matrices, and DPS matrices consisting of 3-star 2-piece Lyra, 3-star 2-piece Amir. Version 2 consisted of free-to-play matrices, with Lin using a 3-star 4-piece Shiro, Fiona using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice and a 3-star 4-piece Silka matrice, and Rubilia using a 3-star 2-piece Shiro, 3-star 2-piece Amir. And they use the Fiona trait, and for the scatter techniques, for the primary skill they use Torrential Force, and for the secondary skill they use Hydro Focus. So here's what the Alter team was able to do in a minute and 30 seconds. 0-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 54 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 65 million, and with DPS matrices 71 million. 0-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 48 million. 1-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 62 million, and with her 0-star 4-piece 75 million, and with DPS matrices 81 million. And 1-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 55 million. 3-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 68 million, and using her 0-star 4-piece 83 million, and using DPS matrices 89 million. 3-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 61 million. 5-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 74 million, and using her 0-star 4-piece 91 million, and using DPS matrices 97 million. 5-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 67 million. 6-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 84 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 105 million, and with the 3-star 4-piece 121 million, and with DPS matrices 111 million. 6-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 77 million, and with a 3-star 4-piece Silka matrice 89 million. Now here's what this comp was able to do using live stat values. 6-star version 1 Rubilia using no matrices was able to reach 118 million, with her 0-star 4-piece 147 million, and with her 3-star 4-piece matrice 170 million, and with DPS matrices 155 million. 6-star version 2 Rubilia using a 0-star 4-piece Silka matrice was able to reach 107 million, and using a 3-star 4-piece Silka matrice 125 million. Now let's talk about the rotation. So you want to start out by doing Lin's hold attack to Lin's skill. Then you want to activate Fiona skills, activating Torrential Force and Hydro Focus. And then do a normal attack chain to charge into Rubilia's discharge into her skill to where you can dodge attack 2 times to heal up the spikes. Next, cancel Lin's discharge into her skill, and then do an attack chain to charge into Fiona's discharge into her skill, into another attack chain to charge into Rubilia's discharge into her skill to where you can dodge attack 2 times to heal up the spikes, and then do aerial attacks until you have 1 discharge and almost 3/4 of the next discharge, and then you simply rinse and repeat by canceling Lin's discharge into her skill and so on. Next, we have the free-to-play teams. For the first team, these are the average stats that we're using. Almost 9k crit and over 16,000 volt attack. This team consisted of Claudia, Fiona, and Rubilia, with Claudia using a 3-star 4-piece Shiro, Fiona using a 0-star 4-piece Silka, and Rubilia using a 3-star 2-piece Shiro, 3-star 2-piece Amir. And they use the Fiona trait, and for the scatter techniques, they use Torrential Force for the primary skill and Hydro Focus for the secondary skill. So here's what this comp was able to do in a minute and 30 seconds. 0-star Rubilia was able to reach 30 million, 1-star Rubilia was able to reach 37 million, and 3-star Rubilia was able to reach 41 million. 5-star Rubilia was able to reach 45 million, and 6-star Rubilia was able to reach 51 million. And here's what this comp was able to do using live stat values. 6-star Rubilia was able to reach 71 million. Now let's quickly talk about the rotation. You want to start out by using Claudia's skill to Fiona's skills to a normal attack chain to charge, into Rubilia's discharge, into her skill, into 2 dodge attacks. Then you simply rinse and repeat this rotation with Claudia's skill and so on. And here are our average player stats for our next free-to-play team. A little over 9k crit and 16,000 volt attack. This team consisted of Claudia, Lin, and Rubilia, with Claudia using a 3-star 4-piece Shiro, Lin using a 0-star 4-piece Silka, and Rubilia using a 3-star 2-piece Shiro, 3-star 2-piece Amir. And they use the Samir trait. So this is what this team was able to do in a minute and 30 seconds. 0-star Rubilia was able to reach 36 million, 1-star Rubilia was able to reach 42 million, and 3-star Rubilia was able to reach 46 million. 5-star Rubilia was able to reach 50 million, and 6-star Rubilia was able to reach 56 million. million. And here's what this comp was able to do using live stat values. 6-star Rubilia was able to reach 78 million. Now let's quickly discuss the rotation. You want to start out by using Lin's skill to Claudia's skill and then do an attack chain to charge into Rubilia's discharge so that way you can activate her skill and do 2 dodge attacks. Next, activating Lin's skill to Claudia's skill to do an attack chain to charge into Rubilia's discharge, and then you rinse and repeat with Lin's skill and so on. Which brings us to our third team, and these are the average player stats. Over 10k crit and over 19,000 volt attack. This team consisted of Nemesis, Lin, and Rubilia. With Nemesis using a 3-star 4-piece Shiro, Lin using a 0-star 4-piece Silka, and Rubilia using a 3-star 2-piece Shiro, 3-star 2-piece Samir. And they used the Samir trait. This is what this team was able to do in a minute and 30 seconds. 0-star Rubilia was able to reach 38 million, 1-star Rubilia was able to reach 44 million, and 3-star Rubilia was able to reach 48 million. 5-star Rubilia was able to reach 52 million, and 6-star Rubilia was able to reach 58 million. Here's what this comp was able to do using live stat values. 6-star Rubilia was able to reach 82 million. So now let's quickly talk about the rotation. You want to start out by using Nemesis skill to Lin's skill, do an attack chain to charge, to Rubilia's discharge, to her skill, and then do 2 dodge attacks. Going into Lin's skill, another attack chain to charge, into Nemesis discharge, and then you simply rinse and repeat, starting with Nem's skill and so on. And finally for the last free-to-play team, which had these average stats. Over 10k crit and almost 19,000 volt attack. And this team consisted of Nemesis, Crow, and Rubilia, with Nemesis using a 3-star 4-piece Shiro, Crow using a 0-star 4-piece Silka, and Rubilia using a 3-star 2-piece Shiro, 3-star 2-piece Amir. And they used the Rubilia trait. This is what this comp was able to do in a minute and 30 seconds. 0-star Rubilia was able to reach 31 million, 1-star Rubilia was able to reach 38 million, and 3-star Rubilia was able to reach 42 million, 5-star Rubilia was able to reach 46 million, and 6-star Rubilia was able to reach 52 million. Here's what this comp was able to do using live stat values. 6-star Rubilia was able to reach 72 million. So now let's quickly go over the rotation. You want to start out by using Nemesis skill to Crow's skill, to Rubilia's discharge to her skill, and dodge attack 2 times. Aerial attack until you have a discharge and a half, to a Crow discharge and skill if it's available, into a Nemesis skill, and then dodge attack until you gain a discharge. Right into Rubilia's discharge into her skill, where you dodge attack 2 times, aerial attack until you have a discharge and a half, then you rinse and repeat from step 5 and above using Crow's discharge and so on. Now for the disclaimer / notice section. And the first thing that I want to mention is the testing environment, which has a lot of input lag, so you might be able to pull out better numbers than we did. For example, Kawasa was able to pull out 224 million on the live server using the Fenrir comp, whereas on the test server he was only able to pull out 214 million. Number 2, matrices. You'll notice in a lot of the free-to-play sections we use Silka matrices, but they are just marginally better than Habuella matrices because Volt has Fenrir's crit rate. But we're only talking about 2 to 3 million, so I would say whichever one has the higher stars, I would use that one. Next, I want to talk about Claudia matrices, which is actually pretty good to put on Rubilia's team, especially if you don't have a lot of the limited Volt matrices like Fenrir, Tion, or even Rubilia's. And the skill cooldown for Claudia's 4-piece is actually pretty nice for Rubilia because you're able to do more skills in Fenrir Song Worlds much easier. But if you have full limited matrices, I still would probably go with those over Claudia. Next, let's talk about Rubilia's matrices, which seem decent at first hand, but the 4-piece allows you to have more Crystal Thorns active on the field, which greatly increases your burst potential. So these matrices are actually pretty good to pick up because, as you notice with the DPS calculations, even 0-star was doing 10 million more than DPS matrices. Number 3, buffs. Currently at the time of recording, Rubilia is in the warehouse, and they buffed her 1-star and 6-star advancement, so if you end up going for those, you should see a slight damage boost compared to our numbers. And number 4, high investment. Rubilia pushes Volt to the next level with amazing AoE and great DPS, but the most important part to note is that the big burst Rubilia can output with her skill is dependent on Fenrir's 3rd Ascension, to the point to where I recommend getting Fenrir's 3rd Ascension rather than getting Rubilia's Ascensions. Because if you lack Fenrir's Ascension, Rubilia's burst will be largely reduced and Rubilia's shatter potential will be greatly lessened. So between relying on Fenrir's 3rd Ascension, Rubilia's Ascensions herself, along with her matrices, bringing a big quality of life and DPS buffs, Rubilia from a meta perspective is a high investment weapon. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and let me know down in the comments, are you guys pulling for Rubilia? Or are you waiting for those 3.0 characters? But other than that, I'll talk with you guys later.